Which country in the world likes to gamble the most? The Americans with the casino city of Las Vegas? Southeast Asia with its many online casinos? To be compared with Japan, it is not like gambling. According to the Statistical Survey of Japan in 2021, more than 5.36 million people are suffering from ludomania in Japan. Among them, the most addictive to the Japanese is the game called Pachinko. Among people suffering from ludomania, 92% are addicted to this game. It is not yet at its peak. There used to be 30 million Japanese people who were addicted to Pachinko. Even this small game once caused political turmoil in Japan. The origin of Pachinko can be traced back to the 18th century. A game was popular among the French aristocrats at that time. A rectangular wooden frame is used with arranged iron nails. The pinball falls in different score areas, and the score is calculated. It's said that in 1777, the French Emperor Louis XVI played this game at a party in Bagatelle. The game was also named Bagatelle. Later, during the American Revolutionary War, the game was brought to the United States by French soldiers and was renamed pinball. In 1920, the game was introduced to Japan. It was used as a children's toy at that time, and it was placed in a candy store to attract children. The Japanese call it pachi pachi. In 1930, the game gradually became an industry, and the first pachinko shop appeared in Nagoya. The items that can be exchanged are no longer candies, but cigarettes that adults prefer. This became an important transition for pachinko from children's games to adult games. But soon after World War II broke out, pachinko has not listed as an urgently needed industry and was completely banned by the Japanese government. In 1946, due to post-war Japan with the lack of entertainment, a man named Takaichi Masamura began to study pachinko again and improve it. In the earliest pachinko, the nails were arranged according to a certain pattern. The movement of the pinball was relatively monotonous. Takaichi Masamura created a new set of arrangements, and there was a matching story. He said that the fate of people, like pinball, starts from birth. There will be difficulties at the beginning, and even if you are about to succeed, you will be hit by the final nail. Usually, like most pinballs, there is no result. However, a hopeless pinball will unexpectedly enter the gate of victory. Pachinko is everyone's life. This kind of fatalism finds the psychology of gamblers. This design greatly increases the uncertainty of pinball and makes pachinko more exciting. The arrangement he created, later also known as Masamura Standard. He did not apply for a patent, and he generously allowed others to use this design, which contributed to the rapid development of pachinko. In 1951, pachinko became the most popular game in Japan. It also gradually spread from Nagoya to the whole of Japan. In 1952, in Akira Kurosawa's movie To Live, there was a scene playing pachinko. After that, players felt that it was a waste of time to invest one by one pinball. The continuous pachinko was invented. If the player is skilled, he can launch 180 pinballs in 1 minute, which greatly improves the game speed. At the same time, players' spending and becoming addicted have also been accelerated, and even professional players have appeared. They win prizes through pachinko and then sell the prizes to some merchants who specialize in resale, gradually extending an industrial chain. The identities of these merchants are also very diverse, including foreigners and underworld members, caused a series of social problems. In 1960, the Japanese government began to regulate the exchange behavior of the entire industry. The pachinko store also started using the three-store system to continue operations, a system employed by pachinko parlors of using separate shops to exchange prizes for cash as a way of circumventing gambling laws. First, the points won in the pachinko shop can be exchanged for general prizes and special prizes. General prizes are daily necessities, cigarettes, etc., which can be exchanged in the shop. Special prizes used to be gold foil sealed in boxes, which could be exchanged for cash by taking the foil to the exchange. Afterward, wholesalers will buy gold foil from these exchanges. Wholesalers will reshuffle the gold foil, and then randomly wholesale to each pachinko store. The need for shuffling is because if a tripartite return is formed, there will still be legal risks. When pachinko stores, the gold foil of the company is not the one that was given to customers before, so it can avoid censorship. And the most amazing thing is that it was a policeman who came up with this business model. In 1960, several bosses in the pachinko industry joined forces with the Osaka Police Department to create the Osaka Prefectural Pachinko Cooperative Association. The first chairman was a retired police officer. In the second year, the three-store system was developed and gradually spread all over Japan. In the following years, many policemen retired and joined the pachinko industry. With the opening of the Tokyo Olympics in 1964 and the subsequent electronic transformation, the pachinko store ushered in a second golden age. At that time, the Japanese media, because they repeatedly exposed the inside story of Japanese politics, were welcomed by readers, so they were very active in looking for the government's scandal, and the pachinko case also happened at this time. In August 1989, the Japanese media Shukan Bunshin exposed the scandal of the Pachinko Guild bribing dignitaries. The pachinko store at that time was a place where young people gathered, and it was an important source of income for the pachinko store. The Japanese parliament also found this and planned to pass legislation to require the store to implement a system of buying pinballs with credit cards. In this way, young people without credit cards cannot play pachinko. But this damages the interests of the pachinko industry, so when it was finally considered by Congress, the proposal was firmly opposed by the Japan Socialist Party at that time. This made the media realize that there were some secrets between the Socialist Party and the pachinko industry. This led to the discovery of bribery on both sides. At this time, Toshiki Kaifu of the Liberal Democratic Party thought it was a perfect opportunity. He said he would find out about the Socialist Party. It turned out that something was wrong. The Pachinko Guild paid bribes to 109 people between 1984 and 1988. Among them, there are 84 members of the Liberal Democratic Party and only 12 members of the Socialist Party. Later, it was revealed that the current Prime Minister Toshiki Kaifu also received 4.97 million yen. The corruption case caused by pachinko exposed the corruption of the Liberal Democratic Party regime in the Heisei era. People's trust in the government has declined. From 1989 to 2001, Japan changed 12 prime ministers in 12 years. In the pachinko industry, profits have been transferred to Japan's construction, medical and other industries. It is most closely related to the animation industry. To practice pachinko technology, some people in Japan bought a small pachinko and put it at home for training. But pachinko is very expensive, so after the launch of Nintendo's Famicom in 1983, a company soon put pachinko in the Famicom. After pachinko was developed on the handheld console, the pachinko game reached its peak in 2000. At that time, Mad Max 2 was very popular in Japan, coupled with the influence of Hong Kong kung fu movies. Okamura Yoshiyuki and Hara Tetsuo created the classic manga Fist of the North Star.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
In 2003, when Sega and Namco were negotiating a merger, they added a new member, Sammy, a Japanese manufacturer of pachinko machines. Sammy quickly acquired CSK's stake in Sega, making Sega a subsidiary of Sammy. Sammy has also launched an important product that has caused a boom in Japan. It is the Pachi slot of the Hokuto Shenkan. Pachi slot is a slot machine, but after joining the Fist of the North Star, its appeal surpasses that of pachinko. This machine became the highest-selling product in the history of Japanese gambling machines, with 620,000 units sold. At that time, many players frantically studied this machine and cracked the probability of various combinations. The reason why Sammy acquired Sega was to make more pachinko and pachi slot through Sega's game development capabilities. After that, more pachinko manufacturers also quickly cooperated with various animations or grills group. This kind of product can not only increase the fun but also bring popularity to pachinko. According to statistics, there are more than 200 animation works in cooperation with gambling. Even animations such as Anohana, The Flower We Saw That Day, Chibi Maruko-chan, etc., which have nothing to do with gambling, can also become partners. Of course, Fist of the North Star is still the most popular with manufacturers and gamblers. In 2008, Sammy Another Fist of the North Star Pachinko was released, which again sold 280,000 units. The cumulative sales of the Fist of the North Star series reached $17.6 billion US. The Japanese government has always ignored pachinko, mainly because the industry is too valuable. According to the white paper on the leisure industry in Japan in 2020, the market size of pachinko accounts for 27.7% or about 20 trillion yen. It accounts for 3.7% of Japan's GDP in 2020. And even more exaggerated is that the pachinko industry employs about 310,000 people, which is equivalent to 1.5 times the total number of employees of Japan's top 10 automobile companies. Created a lot of job opportunities for Japan. In 2010, the pachinko industry began to promote the legalization of casinos in Japan, which was finally approved by the Japanese parliament in 2016. When everyone thought that pachinko could usher in a boom again, the pachinko industry began to decline. Mainly the reason is that young people are no longer interested. To attract young people, many pachinko stores are also transforming, such as the design of the decoration being trendier. The current Pachinko store has become the same as the Apple shop. It is impossible to imagine that this is a Pachinko store without entering the store. As for the entertainment for young people, it may be TikTok and mobile games. After all, like Pachinko, it is also addictive. Here is Monoponey. Welcome to like, comment and subscribe. See you next episode.